Hi boys and girls, it is Math Monday. I hope you had a really nice weekend. All right, so today for math, we are going to talk about the number 10, 10, and some more. And we're really going to concentrate on our teen numbers. Now a few weeks ago, we had our 100s chart, and we practiced numbers 1 through 10, then we practiced numbers 1 through 20, and we talked about those teen numbers. We talked about 11 and 12, 13, 14, all the way up to 19, 20. And you even filled in your 100s chart to 1 to 20, and then you filled your 100s chart 1 to 100. So you have been practicing very hard the last couple weeks on working on numbers in the number order. So we're going to take a step back and talk about teen numbers again. We're going to talk about 10 and some more and what that really means. So when I look at my teen numbers, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and we'll just write 20 because we're used to stopping at 20. But these here are our teen numbers. And we are going to talk about today 10 plus something equals something. So we're going to talk about 10 plus some more to help us with our teen numbers. In order to work on this, we are going to use a 10 frame. Now eventually we're going to work on 2 10 frames, but we're going to start out with 1 10 frame. And I know it's hard to see on this blue magnetic board, but there are 10 squares on my 10 frame. And I have put these blue circles in every square here on my 10 frame. So when that is completely filled, I have 10. I have 10 circles here because each square on my 10 frame is filled. When we were in school working with a 10 frame, we were working extremely hard on remembering that when we see the top row of a 10 frame filled, it means 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And by looking at this, I can just say 5. There's 5 circles, Mrs. Gatson. Do you have to start over every time and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Nope. The top row means 5. So when I look at that, I can say 5. And that's going to be the same thing when I fill the 10 frame, the first row and the second row, the top and the bottom, completely with my blue circles. I can look and say 10. I don't have to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Mrs. Gatson. Nope. You can just look at this and say 10. All right? So let's practice. How many is on my 10 frames, boys and girls? Yep, you're right. 10, because all of the squares are filled. Now what happens if I add these 2 red circles? What am I going to have now? Well, let's see. 1, 2, stop. Nope. I can say 10. 10, and here's 2 more. So 10, 11, 12. 12. I have 10 plus I've added 2 more, and that's going to give me the number 12. 10 plus 2 equals 12. 10, 11, 12. 12. So the number 12 means 10 plus 2 more. 10 blue circles plus 2 more. 12. Let's do another one. Erase this and get it ready. Count. You should have it like that, because 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Remember, I didn't have to start counting my blue over. I know that my whole entire 10 frame, all the squares are filled, so that means 10. All I had to really worry about were these that were down below the 10 frame. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow, that was fast. So 10 plus 4 more equals 14. All right, I'm going to do one more on here. You ready? $13. You got it. 10, 11, 12, 13. Very good. So 10 plus 3 more is going to give me 13. 10, 11, 12, 13. And we remember boys and girls, we write that as a 1 and a 3. Next, I'm going to talk to you about our pocket chart. Remember, this was hanging by our calendar. And each day that we came into school, Mrs. Gatson would place a straw into the pocket, and we would see how many days we were in school. So for example, if we were at our first day of school and Mrs. Gatson put a straw representing day 1, we would put it in our ones, and we would add a number up above. And so we're in 1, day 1. Now we are going to talk today quickly about ones and tens. We're not going to mention our hundreds. Okay, I know we did group our days up to 100 in here, but we're not going to talk about that. We're just going to concentrate on our ones and our tens. And here I drew an example on the whiteboard, our ones and our tens. Okay, ones and tens. So I have 1 straw, I have 1. Okay. Let me do this pocket first until we get to the whiteboard. All right. And remember that each day you guys would come into school. Mrs. Gatson would put a new number and a new straw in. So now we're on day 2. But eventually we got so many straws in here that it got to be crowded. And there was no room in there. So they had to be put into a bundle to move over here. Remember, we only went up to the number 9. Once we got to 10, we would bundle those up with a rubber band, and they would move over into our tens pocket. So now I have 1 group of 10. Let's use my watch band here. Okay, and nothing in my 1 spot. Okay, so this would mean that I had 10. 1 group of 10 and 0 in our ones. When you put those numbers together, it's the number 10. And then the next day, we would come in and we would add another straw, which would mean I had 1 in my ones spot, and 1 group of 10, 10, and 1 more is 11. 11. 1 group of 10 and 1 in my ones. And we would go on and continue up. 10 plus 2 more, 1 group of 10 and 2 little ones equals the number 12. So today we are going to be talking about our ones column, our ones column, our tens column, our tens column. Okay? and we're going to be talking about 10 frames. In fact, we're going to talk about 2 10 frames to help us with our teens, with 10 plus some more. All right, the last part of our lesson. This is going to show you how to do your work today. So I have 10 little green cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, 10. If I were to take these 10 cubes and kind of stack them up and smush them all together and glue them together, I could make this 10 rod. And if you look closely, there are 10 squares on here, all smushed together. So this is 10, but all put together. Just like this is 10 straws, but in a bundle. One group of 10, and this is also one group of 10. Okay? And if I were to add another straw here, and if I were to add another green cube here, it would mean the number 11. One group of 10, one group of 10, and one left over, one little one in the one spot. Put those numbers together, 11, 10, 11. 10, 11. Okay? All right, this is what the homework looks like today. I have made 2 10 frames. I have made a ones and a tens column, like our pocket chart. Okay? If you were able to pick up your whiteboard up at school for the school supplies, I recommend using that for practice. If not, you can always create it on paper. I know parents and even students, you're getting so good at making 10 frames. And then this is something new. This is our ones and our tens column. And this doesn't necessarily have to be this long either. It can be shorter as well. Okay, but I think on your homework it might be a little bit longer. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill in our first 10 frame, and that's 10. Remember, if you don't have something like little cubes, you can use little noodles, pennies, whatever you can find. This 10 frame represents the 10 frame that we were using earlier. And then remember we had some left over. Our second 10 frame is going to be where we're going to put those little leftovers. Okay? So up here we had 10. Remember, I don't even have to count it. I know that's 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, if I look here and what we're doing for our homework, we have 10, 11, 12, 13. But here I'm using 2 10 frames. Okay? So this is a group of 10, and this is some more. So plus, and we have 3 more. So 10 plus 3, 10 and 3 more equals 13. 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm going to write 13 here. And when I go up to use our place value, our ones and our tens, like our pocket chart with our straws and stuff, I am going to fill this out as if this is a group of 10. A group of 10. How many groups of 10 do I have? Well, I have this as a group of 10. But is this a group of 10? No, I have all these empty boxes. So I have one group of 10. One group of 10. And how many little ones? 1, 2, 3. And 3 little ones. So when I look at that number, boys and girls, and if I were to take this line away and put those numbers closer together, it would be the number 13, just like this. So what 13 means, it means one group of 10 and 3 left over, 3 little ones. 10 and 3 more. 10, and 3 more. Let's do another one quickly here. All right, now look. I have 10, and how many more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 and 6 more equals 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 10 and 6 more is 16. So if I go over to my columns here, how many groups of 10 do I have? Well, this didn't fill the whole 10 frame. I still have 4 empty boxes, but this was all filled. So I have one group of 10, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones left over. So this is equivalent to one group of 10. And then I have 6 left over. Remember, if I took that away, it would be the number 16. 16. One group of 10 and 6 more. All right, do your homework, send me pictures.